former prosecutor Adriana Gardella and criminal defense attorney Geoffrey Nathan. Adriana, let me start with you. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, they say she's been very cooperative. They say they know the motive. They're just not telling us. But it's just baffling to think what the motive could be after we hear time and time again of these witnesses and friends of the family calling this couple the perfect couple.
Well, I think that just goes to show that even when you've got a so-called perfect couple, the only people who know what's going on in that relationship are the couple themselves. So anything could have happened in that house. We just don't know at this point.
All right, so Geoffrey, let's go over some possible motives then.
Well, the motive could be that it's a rage killing for which one could say there's no motive. It could be a self-defense thing, which would mean that you put her on the stand and say, I underwent years and years of systematic abuse by my husband, and the only way for me to extricate myself from the abuse was to kill him, or he was going to kill me. And therefore, you defend it on the basis of that's, in essence, a justifiable homicide, and you ask for what is called a jury nullification of what occurred. You stipulate to the facts, even if there's a confession, especially, and then you pray to the jury, let my client go because she did what she had to do to escape the abuse. I think
Geoffrey,
that's what you're going to see, Julie.
And I agree with you there. That is obviously a likely defense from the defense angle. But, Adriana, you know, the domestic violence angle here, don't you think if there was a history of abuse, not only to Mary but to the children, investigators would have really dug deep into that before charging her so quickly? I mean, remember, less than 24 hours after they took her in custody, she was charged with first-degree murder.
I don't think that that's necessarily true. You know, that's an initial charge, and we have no information yet as to what happened before. It's going to be.
But if it was self-defense, wouldn't they look into that before charging somebody with first-degree murder?
You know, the battered woman's defense is not necessarily self-defense at that instant. It could be, as the defense attorney was saying, years of abuse leading up to it, and that's going to be something the prosecutor is going to argue against usually, and the defense attorney is going to be in favor of that. So it's not as clear-cut as you would think.
All right. Well, Geoffrey, we all just heard one of the Winklers' close family friends describing them as loving. She babysat their baby, their one-year-old. How big of a role will these neighbors' accounts play in the defense here?
Very little, unless there is someone that the defense investigators can bring up to say, look, I was there. The husband was manipulative, controlling, violent, and psychotic. And I believe that the husband beat her up regularly. And unless an investigator for the defense can get that kind of information out, then I'm afraid from a defense perspective, we wouldn't want someone to say that it was a loving relationship. In fact, we'd move to preclude that testimony.
All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for talking to us right now.